Hello, I'm Laura Milkins. I'm a nationally recognized interdisciplinary artist living in Tucson, Arizona. I am going in search of the Great America. This is a project traveling to each state in the Union, asking people to define their Great America, past, present, and future. Given COVID-19, I will be traveling virtually to the biggest city and small town in each state, asking librarians to nominate someone in their community be on a podcast to talk about their vision of a great America. There are 5 questions to each podcast. Where did you grow up and what was it like? Was there a time in history you felt America was great and why? What's great about now for you? What's your great future look like? And who are we when we are our best? The last question is really the heart of this project. In these fraught times, with grief, both personal and national, losses, I think it's a time we're all thinking about personal identity as well as national identity. What kind of world do we want to live in? What kind of country do we want to have? So I'm asking people to envision a world they'd like to live in. It gives me hope to do this. When Trump said, "Make America great again," all I could think was, for who? What great America? I really want to know. What's your great America? What does that look like? So I'm going to ask people to define it, to envision, to look at what kind of country we could live in. There'll be a weekly podcast and videos of journey along the way. I'll ask local videographers to capture something about their city or town they think people like to know. It's a highly collaborative project, as all my work is, involving the librarians, my guests, the videographers, as well as a resident historian, Tom Przelski, who will be asking and figuring out what was it like to live in that town when people say that it was a great America, and who was included or not included in that vision. I'll hand out a demographic sheet to each participant and ask them to fill it out, and that data I'll give to the librarians so they can think about that when they nominate someone in their community. I want to get a really broad, rich spectrum of people that live in this country, different experiences, different backgrounds. I am an artist who works really collaboratively. I do online, interactive, community-involved projects. I don't do staged performances. I do journeys. So my last one was the depression session. It was a radio show and podcast asking people to define their depression and talk about it and the things that help them through it. I also did walking home stories, where I walked from my house in Tucson to my mom's house in Grand Rapids, Michigan with a live webcam, asking people to walk with me and share stories, as well as staying in their homes. I had a Fulbright scholarship to go to Mexico City, where I did Walking Stories Mexico, walking across all of Mexico City in the company of strangers and their stories. The pandemic, H1N1, broke out throughout that journey, and I watched the whole city shut down. So I'm uniquely qualified to do online, interactive, collaborative projects in the midst of a pandemic. My work is very participatory, and for the premiere, I want to have as much of the community as possible there. I'll have listening stations set up where people can put on headphones and listen to the journey through an interactive map. They can select a location, listen to the audio, or watch the videos. I'll do press releases before, during, and after the journey. This journey starts in May and ends in October. So there'll be lots of time all throughout for people to be involved in the project and follow it. I really feel that talking about our identity as a country, there's no better time to do it as we sort out who are we, who do we want to be, what kind of country do we want to live in, what's your great America. Thank you.